and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin, and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. As you can see from the wheel behind me, it is time for another round of my Wheel of TBR game, this time choosing my books for the month of March. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first, I am going to go ahead and recap previous TBRs and let you know how I have done with the books that were selected by my wheel. I'm going to go back to January's TBR. I had two books that, as of filming my February TBR, I had not yet read, so let me go ahead and just recap those. The first was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, which I actually did read in January, so this one did get finished. And the second one was A Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft. This one did not get done in January, but I did finish it in February, so January's TBR is officially complete. Moving into February's TBR, the first prompt was a TBR jar pick. For that, I had to read Fairy Tales Every Child Should Know by Hamilton Wright Maybe. I am not quite finished with this. You can see I'm right here. This is a collection of fairy tales, as the name implies. I have 4 left before this will be complete. I am planning on, hopefully, finishing this in the month of February with reading 1 story for the 4 days that it will take me to finish this, and then this should be done before the end of the month. Next, I had alliteration in the title. For that, I chose A Mirror Mended by Alex E. Harrow, which I have read. The next prompt was mystery. For that, I chose Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simon, which I also read. Then I had purchased in 2022. For that, I chose Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood, which I have read. And finally, I needed a book with one of the 5 W's in the title. For that, I chose Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, which I have also read. So as of right now, there is only 1 book that is incomplete for February's TBR. My hope is to have it done by the end of the month, but I will let you know if I was able to accomplish that in the next edition of my wheel. So let's go ahead and get started. I have quite a few books that I would like to be able to fit onto this wheel, but obviously only 5 prompts to work with. So we're gonna go ahead and see how I can do. And if I have any other books that were unable to be fit into the prompts on the wheel, I will mention those once I've done all of my spins. Okay, so enough of that rambling. Let's go ahead and take care of spin number 1. Okay, so I have a Hey Reader prompt. Now, Hey Reader is a website that you can go to and it will just give you a random prompt for you if you are like in need of some inspiration for what to read. So I'm gonna pull that up on my phone. I will screen record, put it right here for you, and we're gonna pick a prompt. Okay, so it's giving me 5 cards to pick from. It also says I can spin a wheel. I'm gonna go ahead and use the cards and I'm gonna go for this one in the middle. So let's see what it is. Oh, okay, so it is highest rated on your TBR. Let me see what I want to do for that. I'm going to try to stick to books that I like physically own because I am trying to read down my physical TBR. So let me take a look at my Goodreads and see which one that is. Okay, so again, I'm screen recording. Let me go to average rating. And it looks like it is in the correct order. So let me see if I can find one that I actually own. I think it's ridiculous that it's books that aren't released that are in the highest place. So just a side note, let's take a look. Okay, I see The Color of Law, but I'm actually planning on reading that later in the year as part of my nonfiction challenge, so I'm going to skip over that one for right now. Oh, but this is perfect because my nonfiction pick for March and April is actually Dictatorland. So I'm going to put that on the TBR for this prompt. That could not have worked out better. I was really hoping that I could fit those onto TBRs the next couple months. So, okay, book number 1 is Dictatorland, The Men Who Stole Africa by Paul Kenyon. And this is basically a look at all of the various dictators that have been in charge of countries in Africa, what led to them coming into power, and the fallout of their reigns. So I'm really curious about this. I heard about this through a channel on YouTube whose name I'm forgetting right now. He did like a whole series on like various dictators. I will link his channel down below. I would really recommend the videos on his channel if you're interested in like fascinating horror type things. But yes, that will be the first one. That is perfect. I needed to read it anyway, so this is a good start. Okay, time to go ahead and replace that one with a random read. That again is where I leave it up to Goodreads to randomly pick a book. So I'm glad that I can't get this one, but at the same time, if I land on this space again, I have to do a random read anyway because it would be a TBR jar pick. So I guess it wouldn't really matter. All right, spin number 2. Okay. Spin number 2 is a multi-POV book, so let me see which one I want to do. This can be hard because I'm not for sure that I'm going to be able to find one just through the synopses, but let me take a look. Okay, again, the prompts are being a little nice to me this month because I am going to go with Queen of Thieves. This is by B.Z. Marsh. This is a book of the month pick, and I've set myself a goal to read at least one book of the month book in each month of 2024. I am working through my backlog. This one is from January 2023, so it is my oldest book of the month book on my TBR, and it is multi-POV. So we are following 2 girls, I believe. We have Nell and Alice, I believe is the other one's name. Yep. So this follows a group of women thieves. Nell is one of the thieves and Alice is the one in charge, the Queen of Thieves. So I'm looking forward to reading this. It's historical fiction. I tend to really like historical fiction. I haven't necessarily heard the best things about this one, but I'm still hoping that I will enjoy it nonetheless, and it will be very nice to check another book of the month book off my TBR. Okay, again, we're gonna replace that prompt with this one, which is a free pick, which would be great. But obviously it won't work this month because I can't land on the same space twice. All right, let's do spin number 3. Okay, we've got published before the year 2000. I can definitely do that. I have some classics and things that I need to read. So let me see what I want to do for this one. Okay, so this is another prompt that actually works out nicely for me because I am going to go with Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. This is on my 24 in 2024 list, and I try to read 2 of those each month, so putting one on my official TBR will be very helpful, and I'm very happy to get this one on the list. Okay, I'm going to replace published before 2000 with a new to me author. And now I'm going to do spin number 4. Okay, 24 in 2024, again, perfect. I can put another book on here. I know which one I'm gonna pick. Let me go grab it. For this one, I am going to go with Hold Still by Nina LaCour. Again, obviously, it's on my 24 in 2024 list. I am trying to work my way through her backlist. I think I have this one and one other that I need to read by her. I have loved everything I've read by her. I've given them either 4 or 5 stars. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I hope it's going to be just as impactful as her other ones are. And not gonna lie, it's very short, which is also very helpful this month. So this is the one I'm gonna go with for 24 in 2024. Now this prompt does not come off the wheel, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do spin number 5. Ah, good. Again, wow, the wheel's being very nice to me, y'all. A little scarily nice. So this is my 2024 series list, and I will be participating in the next round of the Final Book Support Group in March. It's the 3rd week of March, I think. I will link you to Steph's announcement video down below, but basically you need to read series books and tackle them off your TBR. So let me see which one I want to put on for this. I'm hoping it will fit one of the prompts that she's put on her little bingo board. So let me see which one I want to do. Okay, for this one, I'm going to go with a TBR vet. That's one of the bingo prompts for the Final Book Support Group. And I am going to go with Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. This is the second book in her The Darkest Minds series. And I have had this on my TBR for 10 years, according to Goodreads, and I've owned the book for that length of time. I don't know where it is right now, but I do own a physical copy of it. So that's the one I'm gonna go with because it will check off the TBR vet prompt for her bingo board, and also it is a 2024 series book because I am hoping to finish the entire series this year. So that will be the final book for this month's Wheel of TBR. Okay, now let's chat about a few other books that I need to get to in the month of March. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Literally Dead book club pick for March, which is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Satanto. This is also my buzzword pick because the buzzword is a character name in the title, so I'm combining those together to make it a little bit easier on myself. I, however, have also not read February's pick for the Literally Dead book club, which is this one right here. This is Out There Screaming, an anthology of new black horror, edited by Jordan Peele. I am putting in for the audiobook, so I'm on the wait list for that. I have a very hard time with anthologies. I think I have mentioned this at length, particularly in vlogs last year. So reading this physically on top of the fairy tale book that I needed to read just was not going to happen. So I'm going to return the physical copy to the library and hopefully be able to listen to the audiobook at some point in March because I do want to read each of the Literally Dead book club picks, but that is going to mean I'm going to miss the live show. It is what it is, but hopefully I can finally get this read in March because reading it physically just was not working for me in February. And then I also have my classics pick for the months of March and April, and I am going to be reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Full disclosure, I started reading this a while ago, got, I don't know, halfway through it, and I quit reading it. I DNF'd it. And I initially had like no intention to go back and read it ever again. I was going to just leave it as a DNF. However, I am trying to collect all of these Penguin cloth-bound classic editions of various classic books. And I really liked this one with the scissors. The spine looks really nice. So I picked it up, and if it's going to sit on my shelf, I need to try to read it again. I am going to go the audiobook route. I already know that reading this physically just really didn't work for me. So hopefully the audio will go better, but this will be my classic pick for March and April. If I do not get it read in March, I will roll it over into April and maybe be able to fit it onto a prompt on the wheel. We'll just have to see how that goes. And then the other book that I want to go ahead and mention in this video is the 27th Nancy Drew book. I am trying to read one Nancy Drew book per month. I fell behind and I did not read January's book in January. I have read it in February and I am in the middle of the February book. So the 27th one, which will come next, is The Secret of the Wooden Lady. These are obviously written by Carolyn Keene, which is a ghostwriter for like a large amount of people who helped write all of these books. But my goal is to read the original Nancy Drews, which go through number 56. So 27 is the pick for March. Hopefully I will enjoy it. Okay, and that's it, y'all. So let me go ahead and just quickly recap the picks from the wheel. So the first pick was to do a random Hey Reader prompt, which gave me highest rated on TBR, and for that I am choosing Dictatorland by Paul Kenyon. For multi-POV, I am going with Queen of Thieves by B.Z. Marsh. For published before the year 2000, I have Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. For 24 and 2024, I have Hold Still by Nina LaCour. And then for my 2024 series list, I am going with Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. So I have a nice mix of titles. I'm actually quite excited about that. I like to have a TBR with variety. It keeps me from getting bored. What's missing is some romance. So I've had that on previous TBRs, no romance on this one, but I have one nonfiction, one like paranormal, one historical fiction, one contemporary, one dystopian. So yeah, I've got a nice mix of genres. Hopefully that will lead to a good reading month, and I will be able to come back in April and tell you that I have read everything. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.